This topic necessitates reassessing, hence I propose a shift of focus to create a fair and balanced portrait of this historical figure.
No, they weren't trans. Oh, they weren't trans. Oh, they weren't trans. Oh, I swear they weren't trans. No, they weren't trans. They weren't trans. No, they weren't trans. They weren't. I swear. That's what that sounds like to me. This video is controversial. Click at your own risk. Not my video, of course. My video is always non-controversial, but this one is. It's by Metatron, whom I don't know, but let's take a quick look at their channel and see what this is all about. So Metatron, this was recommended to me in the Discord, which if you want to recommend videos in the Discord, you can. You just have to join the Discord first. So go join it, and then you can recommend to me videos. How do you join the Discord, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. You can find the Discord link in the description below every single video. That's right, every single video has the Discord link. You can go there right now and suggest a video. That doesn't mean I'll watch it, it's just a suggestion, but you can go. Okay, so Metatron, let's take a look. So we got race in ancient times. Response to Invicta channel. What did the Romans think about race? You were right about this. Am I religious? Netflix is a joke. Alexander the Great trailer reaction. Did medieval people believe in ghosts? I think, okay, wait, this Alexander the Great thing, is that like, is he gay in that? Is that what this is? This hit close to home, the completionist case and the charity allegations. I do agree that that was pretty sussy. He seems very obsessed with Roman culture. Oh wait, the truth about gay marriage in ancient times. Did it exist? Ooh. Okay, and right before that, this video is controversial. So let's go back to that. This could go either way. I have no clue. From what I've seen, he seems like he's a little bit of a libertarian, but we'll see.
This video
I smell that
is
divorce
controversial.
sooner than you think. Thanks. Oh yeah, because of the cheesecake, right. For those who don't know, I guess I'll tell the story real quick because it's funny. So on Sunday night, I came home from the canvassing thing and I was exhausted and I'd burned so many calories. So I instantly got high and then devoured the cheesecake that Katie got us. And she got it for me and her. I had 3/4 of it. She had the last quarter. And then I wasn't done. She went to bed and I was still hungry. So I went scavenging in the kitchen, right? In the refrigerator. I'm like, ooh, what delectable delights do we have here? And what did I find but a cheesecake that was even bigger. And so I had 3 pieces of that. Woke up the next morning, Katie messages me, hey babe, can you bring the cheesecake to me that I was supposed to give to my workers, my coworkers? And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry, babe, I didn't know. It's just like with cheesecake still on my beard, you know? Oh. It's fine. I cooked her dinner tonight. She's gonna love it. Right after I do this segment, of course. So let's get through it, because she'll be home soon. Little loud.
2024 has begun. This is the 10th
Sure
year
has.
of this platform's existence, and 900 videos released, an introspective examination and self-assessment
good
of
editing,
content
good editing.
typology and reception outcome of my own
Good stock photos and videos. It's very good.
work is, I believe, paramount. Most importantly, I ask myself, what is the message that I'm sharing with the world?
Still looks good.
For this year's content, the usual baseline of historical videos, like these, is still going to be the core of my
What do we got
production.
here? Gladiator facts. How dangerous was jousting? Wrong. Rome versus Greece. So just lots of like medieval shit can be really cool. I don't want to knock the guy if like this is legitimately cool stuff he's doing. But from what I've seen, it's like libertarians and ANCAPs that are the most obsessed with like Roman and Greek culture. And like they're obsessed with telling people, no, it wasn't gay, bro. I swear it wasn't gay, bro. I swear that it was not gay, bro. Julius Caesar was not gay. Okay, that was his roommate. They were playing games together, okay? They were not doing things. He wasn't gay. I swear.
I will also continue ongoing series, such as these. But what about these types of videos?
Why don't you stop by a store to buy a cheesecake? I thought the cheesecake was for me because I'm the man in the relationship and therefore I think everything my wife does is for me because I'm a dumbass. Okay, that's why.
Am I going to drop the controversial stuff once and for all? The offensive content?
There used to be a cheesecake factory at Chevy Chase Pavilion in DC with a row of seating in front of a gym's row of treadmills. I used to eat cheesecake there.
What? Thank you for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs, Sakataneki. That sounds very odd. I would not want to go to a cheesecake factory with treadmills. That sounds antithetical to why I would go to a cheesecake factory.
The content that gets me waves of hate in that ungodly wasteland called Reddit. This
Oh,
question
boy.
is a great
Oh, damn, another
After
one.
2 weeks they rotated the treadmills around.
Thank you for another 2 gifted tier 1 subs. Very interesting.
opportunity for an empirical discussion on modern logic in
Oh, they had gyms. Okay, so they had seating in front of a gym's row of treadmills. Okay, I see. Okay. So there was a gym right next to it. That's such a rude place to build a gym. Right next to a cheesecake factory. You gotta like stare at the people, the pretty people in there with their gigantic muscles and tight asses working out. You're just like, and then you wake up the next morning, you're feeling like shit. I tried working out this morning, man. Did not go well. Did not go well. I'm not used to working out in the morning, but I tried. I tried, damn it. I did 10 minutes of stairs and then 3 sets of bench press and I was cooked. Goodbye. I'm not a morning
argumentation
person.
discourse, to understand why controversy arises and to encourage an open exchange of opposing thoughts. You see, to answer this with a
Right, back to
yes
the video.
or a no is inappropriate, because it would be a way to dignify a question that is based on a false.
Hold on, I need to go back
Is
real
in-
quick. Sorry.
Reddit. This question is a
Reddit.
great opportunity for an empirical discussion on modern logic in argumentation discourse, to understand why controversy arises and to encourage an open exchange of opposing thoughts. You see, to answer this with a yes or a no is inappropriate, because it would be a way to dignify a question that is based on a false assumption.
What
The
was the
assumption
question
being
again?
that these videos are in fact controversial in the
Oh.
first place.
Are the videos controversial? Is that the question? What is the message? Okay, so that's the question. Wait, no, that's not the question because it was yes or no. What was the question again? We'll figure it out.
Argue they shouldn't be. So I'll ask a question of my own instead. Why are these videos deemed controversial? In fact, what is controversy? And I ask this not only as a general principle of
Ah, yes, you call my videos controversial, but at the end of the day, what really is controversy when you think about it, am I right? Let's see where he's going with it.
psychology of the masses, but also specifically within the educational and entertainment cyberspace, in connection with the spheres of information and communication technology.
What is controversy?
Due to the spread of social
Inquiring
media and
minds.
with the safety of internet anonymity, a certain frowning upon topics considered controversial has been bolstered. We got so used to the idea that
Like
certain
topics like
specific
what?
keywords make content controversial that we have been effectively gaslit into accepting
Keywords like what? Let's hear some. I would love to know what keywords.
it as a base of discourse, even though we should be questioning the foundation of such a mental positioning. Furthermore, what is the cognitive significance which ignites negative sentiment within any given discourse? Admittedly,
Hold on, I need to go back. He's talking in very esoteric terms.
is the cognitive significance which ignites negative sentiment within any
What is the cognitive significance which oh my god, this is going to be torture to go through, man. Of course he's on Reddit. This checks out. Everything about this checks out. The night thing, the hair, which is not bad hair. I'm not knocking him for the hair. It's just indicative of Reddit. That's all. What I am knocking him for is this jargon. I'm sorry, you got to talk like a human sometimes, man. Like this, am I just stupid or is this like, yeah, pseudo cult leader lingo? Yeah, he does kind of look like the cult leader you'd find at Walmart.
given discourse. Admittedly, a comprehensive data analysis
I still did not get that. Such a mental positioning. Furthermore, what is the cognitive
which ignites
significance?
negative sentiment
What is the cognitive significance which ignites negative sentiment
within any given discourse.
within any given discourse?
Any given
Just play it.
discourse. Admittedly, a comprehensive data analysis alone won't cut it this time. Yet I suppose humans do operate on foreseeable patterns, which is why history is so important to study. Accurate historical
Okay,
education
I
gives us
understood
access
that.
to a species-level collective knowledge, yet there are clear forces at play that seek to manipulate
Why do we get upset about certain things? Thank you. It's so simple. Is it that hard? Thank you, sweet blasphemy. Sweet, sweet blasphemy.
historical truth for the benefit of the few at the expenses of the many, and then label all who disagree
Part of the mark of intelligence is knowing how to say very smart things in very stupid ways. Okay? Knowing how to communicate with your fellow man in a way that they understand is indicative of knowledge and wisdom. You know what's not? Word salad. Maybe I'm just too stupid to understand it. I'm willing to accept that. But at least I'm smart enough to understand that a lot of people are too stupid to understand it. And they deserve to understand it. People deserve to understand what you're saying, man. Don't sell yourself short.
truth for the benefit of the few at the expenses of the many, and then label all who disagree with them as controversial, or worse.
Hold on, I need to go one more time. I'm gonna try not to rewind anymore. I'm sorry, I will let it go. I'm gonna do my best. I'm laser focused. Why history is so important to study. Accurate historical education.
Education gives us access to a
gives us access.
species-level collective knowledge, yet there are clear forces at play that seek to manipulate historical truth for the benefit of the few at the
That sounds like JQing.
expenses of the many, and then label
This is
all who
called shit.
disagree with them
Immediately.
as controversial, or worse?
Immediately.
So today I ask, why is it controversial to talk about topics that may enrich the knowledge of our past? Why is it controversial to question
Topics like what? Please, I would love to know. Oh wait, we already do know. Because he's asking, the question is, how are these videos controversial? Well, something about being gay. Did Rome have a transgender empire? So yeah, I mean, these are controversial, and especially depending on your answer, you know? Here, let's take a look.
If you are into ancient Rome, and why wouldn't you be, you're probably familiar with the many emperors that Rome had. The good, the bad, the strangled. But did you know that Rome had a transgender emperor?
Or did it?
Did it?
I called it!
These videos do not constitute a contribution into the historically based intercultural dialogue. These creators have zero understanding of classical period socio-political power dynamics and overlap modern ideologies. Therefore, from an educational standpoint, disregard. This topic necessitates reassessing, hence I propose a shift of focus to create a fair and balanced portrait of this historical figure.
No, they weren't trans. Oh, they weren't trans. Oh, they weren't trans. Oh, I swear they weren't trans. No, they weren't trans. They weren't trans. No, they weren't trans. They weren't. I swear. That's what that sounds like to me.
When questioning is the very basis of learning, why is it controversial to openly refute the systematic erosion and rewriting of established historical facts, specifically when not based on empirical evidence? Why is it controversial for me to talk about a topic when the very people who label my content controversial do the very same in reverse, clearly showing a double standard?
Because they're right. It's not a double standard when somebody else is correct and you're wrong, and then pointing it out. That's just called being wrong and you being salty about it.
At play. And finally, why is it controversial to have a different opinion if that opinion is in fact based on facts? The moment children...
This is a good sound clip right here. Hold on. Right here. Ready?
Why is it controversial to have a different opinion if that opinion is in fact based...
Perfect. That should be an alert.
...on facts? The moment children, students, citizens, humans feel afraid or ashamed of asking questions, pressured to hide their interests and beliefs, the moment the court of public opinion deems appropriate to judge people based on what may be rather than what is, we will be replacing innocent until proven guilty with innocent until proven offended. Hence, I rephrase, this isn't just a question. It's a fundamental exploration and reassessment of our core values as a society. Are our conclusions rational or emotive? Are intelligent interactions being replaced by heated contrasts instead? Are we more prone to label as conflict what would instead be more correctly defined as productive dialogue?
What was that stock image? Conflict initiation patterns.
In the wake of the digital era, due to the exponential increase...
This video is so painful, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I can do this. I'm gonna try for you. That person offered to make any doctor able to give her bottom surgery rich beyond measure. I mean, she wasn't trans. I swear she wasn't trans. Twisting themselves in knots.
Increase of information data flow and social media range, the accuracy, neutrality and quality of the presented content, together with purity of intent, are of prime importance.
Purity of intent? What does that mean? Is my intent pure if I just want to make the world better? I'd call that purity of intent. Your purity of intent is what? Like, I don't even know.
This day and age, an issue, topic, discussion, word becomes controversial due to the very specific patterns of societal shift in core values, which are then directly transferred within the digital discourse. Language, apart from being a tool for conveying thought, can be used as a means of manipulation. So this is a form of extreme cognitive correction.
Why can I not say that your content's doing that, man? It seems like you're trying to program something way more than other people are, way more than I am, certainly. I'm just talking like a human here. What happened to your humanity? Why did you get taken over by the AI? You know, you're talking like ChatGPT over here.
Cognitive restructuring is a technique that has been successfully used to change the way people think. It is normally used for stress management, but it can be applied for a wide range of situations. So how do we guard from it? Well, a deep level of understanding and education when it comes to any given topic that is now considered to be controversial is a great way to prepare not only against possible mental manipulation.
I just wanted one example. I want one example. I wanted to delve into one example of what he's talking about. One video that people have called controversial, and then explain it, and then break it down. You know, stop with the vagueness. Stop being vague. Okay, you're vague posting.
But also to successfully guard from selective bias. But have we as individuals been primed to...
What happens when you need to deck out your essay with 1,000 more words?
In a specific scientific way, particularly when it comes to what is deemed controversial as a society? Well, according to Benford's law of controversy, there is indeed a connection between the lack of confidence on a part of the disputant and the perception of a topic as controversial, particularly when an emotional reaction is ignited. In other words, just to give you an example, you're more likely to oppose a scientific position if you lack the basic knowledge and understanding and information about that specific topic.
I would love to know his opinion on the scientific position that trans people are valid, because that is a scientific opinion and it's the correct one.
In order for any person to comprehend the position that they're opposing. And yet, if simply being informed was enough to avoid all forms of controversies, then the phenomenon of having two individuals being exposed to the same type of data and yet reaching to completely different conclusions would not occur. And yet it does.
Part's true.
This may be understood and explained within the concept called bounded rationality.
That's how you get things like the 1350 argument from conservatives, racist conservatives, because their conclusion is that black people are just more prone to commit crime, whereas a leftist or a progressive person would first of all say that that's kind of a faulty statistic, but second of all would say even granting that statistic is true, that's a result of systemic injustice. So, you know, fair point.
Namely, in human decision-making process, we have the tendency to satisfy rather than optimize. In our day-to-day, we tend to seek a decision that is good enough.
Humans have always sought to satisfy. That's just a human thing. We want to satisfy our baser urges all the time.
Rather than finding the best or most optimal solution in every single given dilemma. This does work well, but is not apt for complex subjects, and may lead to a psychological state called anchoring. To be impartial and to avoid calling everything controversial, even things that are not really supposed to be, we need to make sure that we form valid, coherent, and robust perceptions by reviewing.
I would love to get this guy in a conversation. I would obliterate him. There would be nothing left of this man.
Assessing
I'd be
all
like, what are you
available
talking
data
about,
from
bro?
all sorts of
Speak
respectable
like a
sources, deciding to integrate or segregate data based on their merit alone. And yet, as evidenced by Google Ngram, controversial, specifically what we as people consider controversial, rises. Note.
Is this the search numbers for the word controversial? Is that what he's looking at? Books Ngram viewer. The word controversial and how many, what are the axes? Percentage and then year and then controversial. So what's the percentage? I don't get what's the percentage supposed to represent? Something is 0.001% controversial? But what is it? Am I missing something? Please, somebody. What is this chart measuring? I have no idea. Google Books Ngram viewer. Is this just how much the word comes up? Like what percentage it's said as opposed to all other words? That has to be what it is, right? Or like the equivalent of the word controversial? What about the searches that are just people checking if someone or something is going through controversy? I mean, the word controversial has gone up mostly as a result of people who are being accused of being controversial, you know? It's almost Petersonian. Almost, one might say. I don't know, let's move on. This means nothing.
Rises. Note, however, how we don't seem to be that interested in what controversy is, but just seem to be labeling stuff controversial more and more as we stride across the centuries.
Like what? Give me one example.
Wikipedia itself has an entire section dedicated to a
Yeah. Show me the list. I want to see it.
List of what are now considered.
Okay, here we go. 2003 invasion of Iraq. Yes. Abortion. Yes. Affirmative action. Yes. African National Congress. Alberta separatism. American Civil Liberties Union. American Hunters and Shooters Association. These are all controversial. These all qualify as controversial. Okay? Like, it's a subjective term, to be sure. You could call almost anything controversial. But like these specifically are what we as a society have deemed controversial. And that's what makes them important as controversial things. We consider them so.
Controversial.
We don't need another reason.
A quick look.
People fight over them sometimes. Like, that's controversial. CNN, communist state, crime in the United States, people fight over that. Criticism of Walmart, people fight over that. Cuba, people fight over that. CNN, people fight over that. Conservatism, people fight over that. Like, these are all things people fight over.
About the current state of societal affairs and collective mind.
Hamas, sedition, school violence, Jesus Christ, very controversial. I love Jesus Christ, by the way, but most conservatives today probably wouldn't. White supremacy, Buddhism.
Decision-making about complex subjects requires deep empirical studies and the least possible amount of selective bias.
I mean, not really. You just gotta like find the correct conclusion to draw from the data, the one that makes the most sense. It's not that complicated.
Yes. As for this platform and the relevance of these kind of topics, how strange is it for a channel dedicated to history to debunk inconsistent information? Is the statement, this helmet is historically inaccurate in this specific setting, so different, so distant from the statement, this ethnicity is incorrect and historically inaccurate in this specific setting?
maybe, but like, who cares? Okay, wait. What the hidden message here? The hidden message here is he's saying, well, you know, a black person can't play that role because that person is from such and such area and that wouldn't have existed back then. Dog, America didn't exist back then. Guess what? I'm German and Irish mixed, okay? But I would probably fill out the role just fine for a completely pure German Viking, okay? Germanic Viking, whatever it's called, I forget. Nordic, whatever. Like, I'd fill out the role perfectly. You know why? Because I fit I fit what they're looking for. And a black person could probably do it too, just as well, because it doesn't matter that much in that context. It really doesn't, okay? Like, there were people scattered all over the place back then for all kinds of reasons, okay? And none of us matched the exact demographic that existed back then. Oh yeah, he made a video a while ago about how he thinks black people didn't exist in Roman Europe. That's impossible. That's so stupid. Of course, there were at least a few black people there. I don't know the exact specifics. I'm not very good with my history, but people were everywhere all the time for all kinds of reasons, okay? They want to return to like this mythical era where they think that all the races lived in harmony, all separated from one another, right? No, they were constantly fighting all the time. They were constantly intermingling all the time. They were constantly trading and bartering and meeting each other and each other and having mixed kids, you know? That's humanity. That's what humanity is. You want the truth? Okay? That's caveman.
Setting. My decision to begin tackling topics such as religion, sexuality, ethnicity on this very platform is not only based on the fact that these topics tend to get decent views, as I've been accused of, but it is also because I think it is in the very true nature of this platform.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out, you're correct. The ethnic diversity back then was not like it is now. Now it is insanely diverse all over the place. But yes, you could still have black people in Rome. And also, like, let's say that you're watching a movie about Rome where race never comes up once. Is it really going to take you out of the action that much if one of the actors is black? Is it really going to take you out of the action that much? If it does, I'm sorry, but you're just racist.
Platform seeking for historical truth, to be not afraid to talk about topics even if they may be sensitive.
If they don't matter
as long as
whatsoever.
your intentions are pure, you should not be afraid to discuss any.
What's your intentions then? Go ahead. Is it historical truth? Why do I give a shit about historical truth in the context of like a fake Roman movie? About like a Roman god? We're already breaking historical truth, man. In multiple ways.
That's academia.
You think they had
In the
music
true spirit
playing
of
in the
research,
background
one
back
shouldn't be
then and camera
afraid or
angles?
ashamed of asking a specific question in the midst of this research, including
Yeah, but
what
the
did
question should
people in
mean
this
something.
ex-civilization look like, as much as what did they sound like, how did
Oh,
they go
God.
to war, what weapons and arms
No. This was a lot of padding for him to finally unsheath the racism. It's been unsheathed.
use, how did they dress, what did they eat, did they allow weddings between same-sex attracted
Here
people?
we go.
All of this belongs to the same category, the study
I agree that these things on their face are worth studying, by the way, okay? But not for the reasons that this freak probably thinks, okay? I'm just saying.
ancient civilizations. I have always envisioned the Metatron channel as a channel about civilization, culture, language, and ancient
Fascist. He means fascist.
military warfare. But most of all, I love asking questions and I'm passionate of finding the
just asking
real
questions, bro.
answers. And the simple fact that some people may find those answers offensive if they don't line up with their preconceived ideas is not my problem. So I ask again,
I wonder what his opinion on trans people is. I'd love to know.
asking were the ancient Romans black a controversial question? Sure, if I was pushing an actual racist viewpoint, of course.
Why are you asking it? Why are you asking it? What do you hope to gain? I would love to know.
Question in itself isn't
The answer always is, don't you care about the truth? Oh, Alec Gunter, don't you care about the truth? No, I don't actually. I'm a nurse. I'm not a historian, and that doesn't concern me. So no, I don't care actually. That's the answer.
racist. The question is based on curiosity. How dare they assume
They were
with
Italian,
no proof,
true.
no evidence that the mere presence of the question makes our intentions automatically racist? Moreover,
Then explain your intentions. Oh, don't you care about the truth? Don't you care about the truth?
even
Alec,
though such questions
don't you
would
care
already
about
be
the truth?
legitimate in a vacuum, it is a fact that the modern media is constantly trying to present incorrect historical information as
they're always doing that. Dude, okay, you know what show nobody gets mad at? Let's take a look, shall we? Vinland Saga. You guys know that one? I've been watching this one with Leftist Owl. Why the f does Google break on me? Vinland Saga. Here, let's take a look at what's going on with Vinland Saga. So, you've got a kid whose dad, and jacked men right here. You got a kid, this kid, specifically, whose dad was like, spoilers alert, by the way, spoiler alert. His dad was like a superhuman. The man could take like 50 arrows before he died, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were all about like historical accuracy here. I thought that like it wasn't realistic for a man to, you know, lift a boulder. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Looks perfectly realistic to me. Historically accurate, by the way. Like, you're just mad because you're racist. Stop cloaking it.
Therefore, the topic.
You don't give a shit about historical reality.
You would think that exposure to empirical
I'm Alec, I'm Danish, and my ancestors absolutely did all of this. True.
Be sufficient to resolve a debate. But from what we can see through the research done in computer simulations of cultural communities, whenever there are members of an
something else I should point out. Guess why they're not mad at Vinland Saga? Turns out there are very few black people in there. Isn't that a coincidence?
Isolated subgroup, a certain level of confidence
it's a great
is generated
show, but
whether this
diversity.
community has access to ground truth or not. Although of course if unhindered access to real truth is within the realm of possibilities of said subgroup, the before mentioned confidence would not be misplaced. Therefore be careful who you follow. Always ask, what are their motives? Research of truth?
You're throwing stones in a glass house, my friend.
Or pushing a specific agenda at all costs.
Wait, research of truth. Okay, but the truth to what end? To what end? People always use this argument against trans people too. Like, oh, it is just biological truth. Biological truth that there are two sexes. Okay? Why is that the truth? Like, why isn't it the truth that it's a spectrum? I feel like that's closer to the truth because we have, like, intersex people. Like, what? No, that's not the truth. I think you're lying. I think you're saying it's the truth because you have an agenda to push. And you're just projecting this onto me. Do they at least run into Native Americans? I'm not sure.
And at all costs.
They run into the English.
If the answer is the latter, walk away.
That's close enough,
My
right?
goal is to observe, comprehend, report. Therefore, at the beginning of 2024, I recommit. I will absolutely continue down this path because I tell it how it is. I work in the defense of historical truth, and over these years I have encountered all sorts of resistance in my path, including unfounded accusations of political bias, the issue of polarization, and in general a certain disdain by some individuals for my supposed choice of moving away from a historical channel, changing into a politically motivated grifting content production. Ludicrous. However, it's important to also underline the fact
I've seen this is the only video I've seen from you so far, and yeah, that and then like the little bit that we watched from your video where, you know, the Roman Emperor definitely wasn't trans. Definitely was not trans.
there is sometimes a certain area of overlap between historical research and political dialectics, which, as we could see, is constantly growing through the labeling of controversial topics. And if it continues this way, we'll end up not being able to talk about anything. So either
it's not about being able to talk about it. You can still talk about controversial subjects. We talk about them all the time. I certainly do. Did you see the list of controversial topics? One of them was abortion. You know how many abortion debates I've had on this channel? I'm not afraid to talk about that shit. If you're afraid to talk about it, then you shut up. Nobody's forcing you.
But there are only two sexes, the one I had with your mom, and the one I had with your dad.
That's pretty true. Thank you again, Saga Tanuki. Always appreciate you. But yeah, I'm not afraid to talk about it. If you are, that sounds like a you problem, bro.
we let the uninformed mass dictate the ever-increasing number of topics which we are supposedly not allowed to talk about based on some form of sociological behavioralism.
I just don't understand where this idea comes from. I don't understand where this idea comes from that we're not allowed to talk about these things. Because I talk about them all the time.
Freedom. I take the latter. Will you take it with me? So how many of these controversial videos of mine are about politics? 100? 30? None.
Wrong. Everything's political. Every single video that exists is about politics.
Question. Why does Metatron not divide his politically driven content from his main channel and make a dedicated channel? A second channel like Shadiversity did.
Yeah. Do it like Shadiversity, the famed AI artist.
An actual question that I was asked. Well, the reason why I didn't do that is because I don't make political content. Now, Shad decided to do that. I absolutely respect that because he did choose
my content's
to
not
speak
political. Hey, if there's one thing that somebody will never tell you if they're trying to trick you into watching their political content and indoctrinating you, it's that their content's not political. They would never tell you. They would never do that. They would never do that. They would never lie about that, you know?
And openly.
They're just telling facts. They're just telling it how it is.
About his politics, his core beliefs, and he also has a sort of overall understanding and visualization of pop culture from that political standpoint. That's absolutely fine, therefore, that he decided to disconnect that from Shadiversity because it would not have been appropriate for that channel. But for me, I don't talk about politics. And apart
totally
from
not.
one video that I made once because I was asked to, specifically to let people know.
Wait! You just said 0. You lied. You just lied, man. What's up with that? No, you said 0. That's a lie. That is a lie. That's a self-admitted lie, by the way.
I don't talk about politics. I made a video about politics to tell people that I don't talk about politics. I will never say, oh, the left did this, the right did that, and Matt Walsh this, and this Democrat did that. All of my...
You can't even name a Democrat. Oh, you just gave the whole game away, man. You couldn't have even said like Hassan Piker or like even somebody more mainstream, like, I don't know, John Oliver. Anybody? You couldn't have think of a single person, but Matt Walsh, oh, he came to mind. Oh, he was right there. What's up with that, buddy?
Content which has
very
been
unpolitical,
accused of
this
being
man.
politically driven was always connected to history. Without a historical
Matt Walsh
tether,
call out.
I don't talk about it.
A
Hence,
shout out.
this is all historical content, not political.
Certainly
Therefore,
not. If there's one thing that fascists never do, it's point at history and say that's how it's supposed to be. Fascists don't do that. Certainly Hitler never did that.
The fact that I've been told that I should have stayed clear
And then he
from
said, "It's not
these
political."
controversial topics because they could offend people's
Just how it's
sensitive
supposed to be.
mind, or people could have an overall misunderstanding of who I am or what I stand for.
Oh,
to
we
those
wouldn't want
people I
that.
say first, I'm no coward. And second, I'm not
Okay, if you're not a coward, debate me. If you're not a coward, debate me. I challenge you to a debate. What's your name again? Metatron. I challenge you to do a debate. If you're not a coward, debate me.
interested in chasing an ever-changing societal positioning, because that will drive you mad. And most importantly, doesn't matter what people think, truth never changes. So the simple fact...
That's not true at all. Our understanding of reality changes all the time. We used to think that atoms were like balls. They were just like solid balls, right? Which was closer to the truth than we thought than we thought before that. Okay? That atoms were just like solid particulates, okay? And then after that, we got an understanding of electrons and electrons patterns around the atom, okay? And for a long time, we thought that electrons orbited the atoms, you know? Kind of like how planets orbit the sun. And then we found out that's not true either. It turns out electrons actually go super duper 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 fast. So fast, in fact, that we can't even keep track of where they're at. And they're in their own little cloud. Okay? They are more likely to be in some areas around the circle than other areas. It's crazy. Electrons are insane. And guess what? We still don't understand the truth of them. The truth changes all the time. Okay? Because the truth only matters in as far as we understand it. That's the only reason the truth matters. Okay? Somebody asked me once, well, what if 2 plus 2 equals 5 actually helped us get to the moon? What if our understanding of 2 plus 2 equaling 5 helped us get to the moon? Would that make it correct? Oh, of course it wouldn't. Yes, it would! Yes, it would. If 2 plus 2 equaling 5 helped you get to the moon, then 2 plus 2 equaling 5 is truth in order to get to the moon. Am I making sense? Truth is subjective. That's all I'm saying.
The people call defending real historical truth politics or
It has to
political
be.
grifting is on them. The Metatron channel is a channel about seeking historically accurate information about the ancient past. It is also important to say that there is a very connection with this idea that I'm trying to push of open debate and the very past that I talk about on this channel.
He said it! He said it! Debate me! Sorry, I'm very excited.
Ancient Greece.
He said
in
it.
fact, it was the very base
They got
of
me
the
going.
democratic society in Athens to have the ability to openly challenge positions. And it was considered, at least philosophically speaking,
God, this pandering toward the Romans and the Athens and the Greeks and the democracy and the panels. Not a fascist, by the way.
as the best way to seek or pursue the truth. So you could say that, so my position...
Maybe he's not, by the way. Maybe he's not. But everything that he's saying here lends me to believe that he probably is, because these are all talking points that I have heard from very bad people.
My ideas are not modern. They're connected to ancient freaking Greece.
Freaking.
If truth is what you seek, then clearly you need to make sure that you don't just debunk lies or propaganda from one side of the political spectrum if it is connected to politics
Yeah, he looks
when
at
they
both
try
sides,
to change history,
for sure.
but that you try and attack every person on all sides, which is what I do. So it's actually kind of...
Oh, he attacks every person on all sides. I'm sure he attacks conservative sides just as much as he attacks liberals. I'm sure that's a thing that he does.
that sometimes people accuse me of just, for example, debunking left-wing propaganda and never talk about right-wing propaganda. And yet I made these videos, link in the description below, where I show that
There's no link. The link is a lie. There's no link. He just lied. There's no links in the description. Okay, I'll take your word for it, I guess, man.
if it is connected to politics when they try to change history, but that you try and attack every person on all sides, which is what I do. So it's actually
Totally.
kind of funny that sometimes people accuse me of just, for example, debunking left-wing propaganda and never talk about right-wing propaganda. And yet I made these videos, link in the description below, where I show
Oh, they
that I
are.
do debunk both sides. I don't particularly care what kind of politics or religion or lack thereof the person who spreads inconsistent
He's so secure in the fact that he does not make political content that he made an entire video about how he does not make political content. Definitely not.
historical information has. The only thing
swear,
they need
bro.
to have to be debunked is to say something that is historically incorrect. And if you follow my Twitter, you know that I talk about both sides. And one thing that you
Who did he donate to? St. Jude Children's Research Hospital? Well, that's nice. A true warrior's food. Is this AI? This has to be AI. Also, this is incredibly unrealistic body standards, man. Lol, a lady sent me an email asking me if I was interested in their product to help grow my hair. I watched the first episode of Netflix Alexander, The Making of a God, and I'm preparing a deep historical analysis and evaluation, similarly to how I did with Netflix Cleopatra. We are bringing some heavy hitters when it comes to the sources and their correct interpretation. Since many have asked me to, apart from the armor, weapons, tactics, historical facts, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, no, of course, because many asked him to. He will address his homosexuality because many have asked. Only because many have asked him to, though. He did not come to that on his own. Certainly not. So, according to the University of Waterloo, the words foreigner, minority, and slavery are offensive. Also, note how white is lowercase, but black and Asian are uppercase. Just they talk about. Yeah, no, he's totally not whinging about the fact that like the libs are winning, right? He's totally not whining about it, right? No, he's totally like both sides, right? Both sides. My both sides king here.
can look forward to in the
Both sides,
soon
both
future is in
sides.
fact a couple of videos that I have, some that will
One side,
debunk
two
something
sides, both
said by
sides.
a left-winger, which was historically incorrect, and something said by a right-winger, which was historically incorrect. Look forward to that. Another thing that I'm told I should change are my thumbnails. Not gonna happen. The way my videos are
Thumbnails are
structured is
fine.
that oftentimes they have
Wait, unless they're AI. If they're AI, then no, you change them.
question. The reason why I tend to use questions is because a question
Hold on, is it AI? It's hard to tell. I don't think so. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
challenges, whereas a statement, in a way,
one's
spoils.
not.
A question arises curiosity. It beckons
good
data
thumbnails.
and stimulates the curious mind. Still, if someone sees a video of mine where I
They're excellent thumbnails. He is a master clickbaiter.
ask
the
were
master
the
baiter,
ancient
you might call
Romans
him.
black or Nordic, what I noticed is that the latter doesn't usually take much attacks, but the first, the former, does have a certain amount of people, luckily it's a minority, that thinks, oh, he must be racist. Otherwise, why would they ask that question? And the absurdity of these people's
What question was it? Were the ancient Romans Nordic the truth? Okay, it is a good question to ask you why you ask that question, okay?
mental framing goes all the way to a full-on strawman, as I see in the comments. Oh, are you racist? Do you hate black people? Is that why
He's defending himself so hard. Yeah, you know that you come off like a racist. You know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be making this video. You just ignore it. You just ignore them as silly billies. But you know that you sound like that.
asking this question?
And you're
Strawman.
laying it out
On
for
them.
us.
I'm very aware that people sometimes judge me because of my thumbnails or titles and consider me to be a bigot or a racist or a
the truth is so
homophobe
important to
without
them.
even watching the content. Once again, that's on
This
them.
is just child shit right here, okay? Like, oh, you're so obsessed with, like, the historical truth of the matter, and yet here you are making this entire production about how non-political you are, right? Okay, buddy.
And to be honest, I'm glad that people like that don't
not
click.
political.
Good riddance. I, however, very much respect those people that go through the thumbnail, click the video, watch it, and then in the comments disagree with me. Much respected. And also thank you to those who agree with me. With all that being said, as we begin 2024, I do commit myself to the pursuit of unbiased truth. I'll keep telling it how it is, and I won't let you down. And I do want to take this opportunity to thank all and
Yeah, got it, okay. Yeah, that was really dumb. I can't say for certain exactly what his political views are, but that's kind of the appeal, right? Is that, you know, you keep it esoteric enough that you can't quite pin down the racism, but, you know, it's kind of there simmering around in the background, and the transphobia and homophobia, you know, because definitely that one Roman emperor was not trans. Not trans! Oh, I swear he wasn't trans! Oh, I swear, oh, or she, sorry. But, yeah, they're always twisting themselves in knots to, like, justify their horrific worldviews, because this is how it always was and must always be, or whatever the He's just he's a dime a dozen. He's a dime a dozen wannabe cult leader. And at least that's the vibe I got. And I don't respect that. So it's a little cringe. It's a little cringe. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.